All right, time now for Tillamook Today. Kind of special today. I'm going to be doing the interviewing today, and we have special guests in studio this morning from the Trailblazers. We have Brian Wheeler, better known as Wheels, of course, Kevin Calabro, and Lamar Hurd. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Marie.
Good morning.
Really happy to be here.
Oh, and we're really excited to have you here. So tell everybody why, of course, you're here today.
It's the annual Rip City Relay, which is the fourth year we've done this, and we visit some of the fine cities across our great state and basically kind of take the Trailblazers spirit and a lot of prizes as well to some folks in areas that we don't always get to, and they don't always get a chance to come to Portland to see our games. So it's kind of a great way to to kind of get to meet a lot of people that we might not see otherwise, and also be able to give them hopefully a nice day where they can see not only Blaze, the Trail Cat, our wonderful mascot, but also we have some Blazer dancers that are with us, and of course, great broadcasters like Kevin Calabro and Lamar Hurd as well.
Awesome. And both of you, Kevin and Lamar, you are new to the broadcasting scene this year, or at least with the Trailblazers, correct?
That is correct, and we're excited to be part of the family and be led around by the nose by Brian Wheeler.
Brian, now you're the boss. You're the...
No, not with these guys.
So now, Kevin, you are the new TV announcer, correct? Television play-by-play. And Lamar, what is your function going to be?
I'm the analyst. I'm the guy that provides a little color to all of Kevin's great calls. And, you know, for me specifically, I've had the chance now to work with Kevin for several years. Ironically enough, he was the first guy I ever did anything on television with. It was a practice run back in 2008 up in Seattle at Fox Sports Northwest. I was recently hired. They brought me into the studio to do a run through and kind of get my feet wet. And in comes this guy with a Kango hat, a hoodie sweatshirt, and sat down next to me and did 20 minutes of a game. And it happened to be Kevin Calabro. And ever since then, you know, it's just been an honor and pleasure to work with him. And I'm really excited going into this year.
Cool. Well, we are very excited to have you and excited to see the fresh new look of the TV play-by-play. But we're really sad to be missing Antonio this year. Brian, you're going to be by yourself.
Yes, I think we may have one of our great former Blazers, Brian Grant, might do a select number of games with me. But I think, for the most part, I will be. And that's not something I'm as used to doing. So used to having a partner, and so it'll be somewhat different in that respect. So, but hopefully we'll still be able. The nice thing is that I think, and Kevin would probably echo this, that as a play-by-play guy, if the team does well, we have a lot of nice things to describe and talk about. So I think we're anticipating another great Blazer season, and so that'll make the job easy for all of us.
We are anticipating another great Blazer season. I see that the Vegas odds are out this morning. Vegas says we're going to win 46.5 games this year.
Yeah, and last year, the over-under on wins for that Trailblazers team was, I believe, 28.5. So you can see how
20.
much things in one season have jumped in terms of expectations for this Blazers team on the heels of the great season that we had a year ago.
Are you excited about the new players coming on and how the team looks this year?
Yeah, and I think these guys, we were talking about it on the drive here about the number of returning guys, which always makes it easy. But I think, guys, we've got some new faces that people should be excited about as well.
Yeah, I think if you look at the addition of Evan Turner, I think that's the most significant one right now, just because our team is led by the backcourt, Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, and now you throw Evan Turner into that mix. It's going to be interesting to see how he meshes in and fits in well. And then you got to love Festus Ezeli. We were talking about this down low, providing that girth in the paint, that defensive force that the team needs. The team already scores so well. I think top 6 in the NBA last year in scoring points per game. But on the defensive end is where they have to get better, and Festus will certainly help with that. And a guy that's kind of under the radar right now, and Kevin and I were talking about this guy 2 nights ago, Shabazz Napier. You're talking about a kid that won 2 national championships and just hasn't really found his spot yet. And Terry Stotts has a way of making players better than maybe they are. He gives them confidence. He's what they call a player's coach. So I'm very excited to see how these guys fit in well, and I'm also confident in the fact that they'll fit in well because you have a leader like Damian Lillard who sets a standard of how the team is going to operate. So exciting times ahead.
Definitely. How is Festus doing after I know he had a knee operation. Is he going to be active right away or?
Well, the latest from the club was that they would expect him to participate at some level. I'm not sure they know at what level in the third week of the preseason.
Oh, wow.
So, I think that's the strength, though, Maria, of this ball club. They've got so much depth at a number of positions. There's a new term called redundancy. So when you lose a guy to an injury or he needs a little more time to rehab from a surgery, that type of thing, you've got a capable backup that's willing to step up and get the job done. And obviously the staff has great confidence in. So that'll be part of camp, is to sort that out, who will be a backup at that center position and so forth. Mason Plumlee started 82 games last year, as you know.
Yeah.
And was just a terrific facilitator passing the basketball. Terry Stotts was very creative, I thought, in the way that they used him last year, Plumlee. And I think it was something that maybe Plumlee didn't even anticipate. He tapped into some skills that they weren't, they didn't know that he possessed. He averaged nearly 3 assists a game. So I think you're solid there at the 5 position. Ed Davis can play that position. Who am I missing?
Myers.
How's he doing? Myers Leonard.
That's the other story I think at camp we talked about. Now Leonard, to me though, is more of a pick and pop stretch for a guy that shoots threes, that's capable of shooting threes, and I think that's where they want him. I guess the name that I'm missing here is Noah Vonleh, who himself has had off-season surgery, and they expect him back at about the same time that they do Ezeli at some limited capacity in camp. But it's such a long season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And so you can afford to bring guys along slowly if you have that kind of depth at those different positions. And that's the strength of this Blazer team. Wheels, you mentioned this is your 19th season. You've never seen a deeper squad than this, right?
No, this is a great luxury that Terry's going to have. And I think the nice thing about Ezeli's procedure, a lot of people likened it to getting a tune-up of your car. It wasn't necessarily a major operation or anything. So he's had some issues with his knees before, but I think this was kind of a tune-up of sorts to get him ready for hopefully being able to handle the grind of a long NBA season. But he's somebody that again gives the Blazers a dynamic they haven't had, a rim protector, and I think somebody that, if healthy, can certainly do a lot of very, very good things. And again, give another dimension that this team hasn't had before, and will add to the many great things that Terry's going to have to choose from in terms of who he decides to play and what rotations he decides to use, Maria.
How about Chris Kaman? Chris Kaman, is he retired? Is he going to be doing anything with the Blazers?
He probably is deciding his NBA future. I think he probably still could play, but last we heard he was back in the Midwest, and I think unfortunately his father passed away this summer, so he dealt with a little family tragedy in that respect. But Terry's talked to him a few times, and I don't think he'll be doing anything with us per se, but I think he's trying to decide if he wants to continue playing in the NBA. And he probably could have been more active with an NBA team last year, and really was very selfless in taking a different role with the Blazers and kind of helping with the young guys and so forth. And he could have been moved elsewhere. General manager and president Neil O'Shea said, "We'll move you if you want to," and he said, "I like it here in Portland, and I'm content to be a guy to help the young guys and help them improve." So he kind of gave up in many respects a year that he could have been more active for an NBA team. So I think he's trying to decide if that's what he wants to do now, or if maybe he's going to cut it short and call it a career. But
and be a TV star.
I think he could do a lot of different things. He's a pretty talented guy, and he's got a lot of varied interests. So I don't think he will lack for opportunities if he decides to call it a career in terms of playing.
Yeah, definitely. So what are you most excited about this upcoming season?
I can tell you, Maria, for me, it's watching an exciting brand of basketball. I've said, when I played, I was a guard, and so I naturally gravitate towards guard play, and I believe we have one of the top 3 backcourts in the NBA, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much those guys improve. CJ's coming off of a year where he was most improved, and I think he's only going to get better, and Damian is only tapping into his potential. So, and this year, with the addition of Evan Turner, you figure those guys might have the chance to play off the ball a little bit more. Maybe you put Turner at the point, let them run around the same way Steph Curry does at Golden State. It's a lot tougher to guard guys coming off the baseline and playing point guard position from the baseline, from free throw line extended downwards, than it is to pick guys up at the point of attack. So I'm just excited to see a exciting, fast fast-paced brand of basketball, guys scoring the basketball, getting up and down, and the Motor Center rocking on a nightly basis.
Gosh, and it's so close already.
It is.
When
right
is
around
the
the corner.
first preseason game? Very early October, isn't
It's
it?
the first Monday, less than 2 weeks away of October, home game against the Utah, and training camp begins next Tuesday. So
Already?
it's coming up that fast. It's one thing about basketball. You start training camp, and within a week you're already playing preseason games, and Blazers will play 7 of those, and so a chance to kind of get an idea of some different things that Terry has, again, with a lot of different options that he's going to have. But, the season is very fast approaching now. And what's nice about, for the second straight year, Damian has organized, a player outing going to San Diego to kind of get everybody together early, get some bonding going on. I think it was real important for last year's team with so many new faces, but they decided to do it again this year. And so the number of guys that, you'll talk to some teams that have some veteran players, and they're lucky to show up maybe a couple of days before training camp starts. The Blazers essentially have had everybody already in town since pretty much the early part of this month. So it kind of allows you to get a jump on the preseason, and maybe allows you to get off to a fast start, Kevin, when we start playing games that count at the end of October in the regular season.
Correct. The thing that I'm most excited about, I guess, is being back in a community and being involved with a team on a day-to-day basis,
Yep.
and being able to travel with a basketball team and, see the ups and downs of the daily operation and getting to know the people in the city. That, for me, will be the most exciting part of it. And then, as Wheels mentioned, in training camp, seeing how this all sorts itself out. Guys we have not mentioned, Mo Harkless
oh my goodness,
was sensational last year.
Well, how about Alan Crabb?
A guy with his length and the ability to go out and guard point guards,
Yeah.
as he did in that series against the Clippers, Harkless. And then Alan Crabb, who they went out and thought enough of to match that whopper deal that Brooklyn was laying out there on the table to him. And here's a guy that can shoot close to 39% last year, and you think with some more repetition, some more opportunities, getting in the rotation, playing. I don't know, where do you start him ahead of Turner? I mean, that's the other thing about this camp. Do you decide to go with the guy that can stretch the floor a little more, or the guy that maybe is a better defender and passer and relieves the pressure on your two guards and takes the pressure off of those guys? So that's one of the other stories, I think, in camp that I think will be most exciting, is to see how that all sorts itself out. And Aminu apparently is going to be starting at the 4 position.
Yeah.
So do we know who the starting lineup is yet?
No.
Or even or I guess we probably learned that in the first weeks of training
Well, we know who the
camp,
starting
but-
backcourt will be.
Yeah,
That's
that's it.
It's pretty
That's the
safe.
important
That's
part.
it.
But besides Damian and CJ, I think some other spots are. But I think it would be one of those situations where it might not matter who starts, because a lot of people are going to play.
Yeah.
And you might see a different lineup to end the game than starts the game.
Sure.
It's especially when you match up against certain opponents. So I think that's the great luxury that Terry and his staff are going to have, to be able to mix and match some guys. And I think the preseason will be used a lot to see which guys fit with with certain guys, and who's the best combination and so forth. So I think there's going to be, but again, there's going to be many options to choose from. So it kind of protects you in case you have an injury along the way, which often happens over the course of a long season. Sometimes guys just need a little rest. So I think there's going to be the ability to hopefully have a fresh team, and hopefully a very healthy team once we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's great. We're going to stop for a second here for one of our sponsors. We're going to talk about Tillamook Country Smoker for a second. You want the real thing, quality beef right out of the smokehouse? Well, Tillamook Country Smoker pulling out a batch right now. Pioneers of a unique brand of jerky, Tillamook Country Smoker ships thousands of pounds throughout the world every day. Visit the retail store on Warren Street, Highway 101 in Bay City. They are open 9 to 5, 7 days a week. You can get a 2-foot-long pepperoni stick for $1. Great deals on bags or jerky. With their commitment to quality, it's not done till it's done right. Their commitment to craft is a family tradition. No corners cut, no compromises. The job is done right at Tillamook Country Smoker. Be sure to visit them online, tcsjerky.com. We are here this morning talking with the Blazers. Well, not technically with the Blazers, but we have Wheels in studio, Kevin Calabro and Lamar Hurd. Kevin and Lamar, of course, are the new TV commentators for the Blazers, just brought on this year. They're excited to get things started. When is the first preseason? Is not broadcast, or it is?
Great
it
question, Kevin. I know a lot of people have been very curious about what games will be televised in the preseason.
Well, that first one will be on television.
and then
The Utah game, and then
Each of the
right?
home games.
Yeah,
we'll have-
three home
we'll
games
have
and
four-
then the
four-
road game.
and then the road game at Golden State
Yeah.
to wrap up preseason, which will be interesting.
Yeah,
because
it'll be interesting to see who's going to play.
that's the third opponent of the year.
Yeah.
the Golden
Of
State
course,
Warriors.
all of them will be
the
on the
regular
radio.
Yes, yes, that much we know, and I also want to make mention. Listening to that spot that you just read, Maria, that I want you to know that Kevin has a standard that he has lived by for a long time. That the job isn't done until it's done right.
Absolutely.
I want you to know that.
Yeah.
Great
I
motto.
do smoke my own beef. I just got a question for you, Maria. On your Tradio show, which, by the way, I love Tradio shows. Do you do sports trades? Will people like call in after maybe a bad performance of the local team and want to trade the point guard for a forward?
You know what? I think that here the local team gets supported no matter what.
Oh, so no
Okay.
trades.
And no trades,
trading.
no trades,
Okay.
no.
Just checking.
We were hoping we could spin a record or two because I think KC and I go back to some days when
that turned
we remember radio where it was done with music being provided via record, and what a great record library you guys have.
Oh,
over
we
there.
do. And when I started in radio, we were still dropping records.
It's amazing.
Actually, when I started here in 2004, we were still dropping records. So KTIL still very traditional.
That's very nice. Nothing wrong with that.
Anyway, so we are here today mainly because of the big Rip City Fair that we're having downtown. Of course, we're going to be at the courthouse. Well, in front of the courthouse. I saw yesterday that they had all the parking lot blocked off and said you can't
Nice.
park here all day tomorrow from 1 to 7. They have the parking lot blocked off. We'll be there. We'll have a table there. We'll also have a brand new Mustang. Unfortunately, we don't get to drive the brand new Mustang, but we'll be posing with the brand new Mustang, and we'll have a Scout gift basket to give away at our table. And I know who else is going to be there.
Can somebody win the Mustang, or they're just there for show?
No, it's just there for show.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, again, we've got Blaze the Trail Cat, who's a very, very popular figure whenever we make these Rip City relays. I know we're going to one of the local middle schools this morning, and the kids love Blaze, which is a great thing. And again, you'll have an opportunity. We bring our own little basketball court that we set up pretty much, and Lamar goes out and pretty much shows everybody how it's done, and then then they have a little 3-point contest, have a little skills challenge, and you can win some prizes. You can go spin the wheel at one of the booths. Both Kevin and Lamar were kind of helping the folks out yesterday to win very, very valuable prizes, and so we had Miss Oregon was with us on the last two stops. We've been in Astoria and Seaside, and so it's really amazing. I mean, we kind of know this, but this kind of a venture reinforces it that we've found out a long time ago that the Blazers are not just Portland's team, they're Oregon's team, and you really find out how many Trailblazer fans and the people that come up and talk to us and say that they've been fans, for some of them all the way back to the 1970 when the team first started. So it's a great opportunity to meet a lot of fans that love the team and love being able to just kind of be able to see people associated with the club. And so we're very happy. We get as much out of the venture as everybody that comes out to see us does.
And I know that Tillamook, everybody in Tillamook loves having you here. It's been a while. Last guest we had here from the Trailblazers, I would think, was Kevin Duckworth.
Wow. So that
So
was a while.
years ago, actually, the day before Kevin Duckworth died, he was here. Actually, I think he died actually that night after he was here in the studio in Tillamook. So we are very happy every time the Blazers come and visit. I don't think we've ever had a Rip City Fair though.
No,
here.
again, this is the fourth year we've done this, and it's a great idea. And we pick, we rotate around the state, so now we've had 5 different cities each year. So from here, we end up going to Forest Grove tomorrow, and then Salem on Friday to wrap up this year's. But there's a lot of careful planning that goes into it every year to try to, make sure we go someplace that we haven't, been before, and kind of, if at all possible, take us maybe the furthest spot to start, and then kind of bring us back closer to Portland as the week winds down. But it's nice. I mean, every day is a kind of a renewal of everything, and so so we're excited to be here. And again, when we get to the fair part of the day, the 4 to 6 p.m. today, like will be the case in front of the courthouse at 2nd and Laurel. It's really, that's the kind of opportunity we get to see everybody, because very often some of the kids that were at the middle school in the morning that we saw come back, and sometimes with their parents and other members of their family, and so it's just kind of it's a day-long celebration of the Trailblazers, and and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think
No,
everybody gets into the
absolutely
spirit
not.
of that.
I'm sure that everybody's ready to celebrate all day long. No problem. One more sponsor here. We have Tillamook Motors. They are talking about the Trailblazers, them too. Rip City Fair today from 4 to 6 in front of City Hall, and Tillamook Motors will be providing the beautiful Mustang that we get to check out. 2017 Ford Mustang will be there. Of course, you can win game tickets and other prizes. And the 2017 Ford Mustang you can't win, but it will be there. It still has the trademark swagger and performance that's defined it for more than 5 decades. There will also be a 2017 Ford Escape with a bold exterior, user-friendly interior, and EcoBoost engine. The compact crossover SUV you've been searching for. Check them out Wednesday while you hang out with the Blazers at the Rip City Fair in downtown Tillamook. I'm really excited. We are going to be there. I'm going to be there. Shayna's going to be there. We're all going to be there, so make sure that you all come out and see us. What else you guys want to talk about? Anything else you want to?
Fishing, Maria.
Fishing.
I want to talk about fishing.
And is the weather always this nice out
It's
here?
absolutely almost always this beautiful.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make this a vacation destination.
Now, Lamar was curious, Maria, because he saw some Oregon State paraphernalia. Are
Yes.
you guys Beaver fans more so than Duck fans?
It kind of depends
just say
on
yes.
what part of Tillamook you're talking about, really, because a lot of people went to Oregon State because it's an ag school.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got a lot of ag around here, so you got a lot of ag people, and then everybody else was a Duck, pretty much.
Because Lamar is one of the great standouts that the Oregon State basketball program has ever produced. So that was something that kind of captured his attention right away to see the Beavers being displayed proudly.
Absolutely. We are very proud Beaver supporters here.
There you go.
We are not prejudiced. We love Beavers and Ducks, except for the glove, of course. I heard some rumors that Gary Payton was being considered to be either on TV or your radio partner or something like that. There were some rumors, and I was like, no, anybody but Gary Payton.
Why, you don't like the glove?
I don't like the glove.
Kevin Calabro knows Gary
Why, he's
Payton.
a good personal friend of mine, Maria.
I
very
love him
well.
as a person. I think he's a great person, and I got to tell you that I was rooting for the mitten all year last year. But Gary Payton's a supersonic, so I can't like Gary Payton.
I see.
It's
Yes.
one of those bias.
It's one of
Well,
those things, even though there is no more supersonics, I am still very anti.
we all have to work to overcome it.
And we're
tried.
making
I've
sure
tried.
that people understand that not everybody makes wise decisions earlier in life, and Kevin was a Sonic at one time too, but now he has a chance to redeem himself. And,
It's like the same people that are Ducks. they made mistakes as well. We're used to this.
But there's no going back.
Absolutely.
Very true.
yeah. So what do you do on Civil War time? I mean, do you have to?
Well, luckily we have more than one station. So the FM plays the Ducks, KTIL FM, KTIL AM plays the Beavers. So actually on Civil War Day, we have it from both perspectives.
That's great.
Now, does one side though brag about does one station have a little more power wattage wise than the other to kind of say, well, we're on the station that is a little stronger in terms of
I
signal?
suppose the FM probably does.
Okay.
I don't know if it has more power technically, but I guess FM goes a little farther than AM in technical terms.
But it's close. It's not like
and it
it's
depends on whether the game is at night, because we have to turn down the AM power. So I guess the Ducks perhaps have a little more coverage.
But it's close. It's not like it's a wipeout.
It is
in their
definitely
favor.
close. And whoever's a Beaver fan, they got the antenna going and they make sure that they can get the game no problem.
That's nice.
So,
Well, we Mike Parker and Jerry Allen are two great play-by-play guys that have been doing their respective work for the Beavers and Ducks for a long time. So it's nice to be able to hear them as well, and they have some pretty good teams to cover too, which is also nice. But we're excited about the fact that I've known Kevin since the days in the 90s when I worked for the Sonics as well, and I think we're very, very privileged to have him to come on board and be somebody that hopefully is going to end his career as a Trailblazers broadcaster and Trailblazers legend. And then we got a young guy like Lamar who is hopefully going to be around for a long, long time, too. He'll probably pass up both Kevin and I in terms of years of service when it's all said and done. So we're happy to have them. And we also have with us today Brooke Olzendam, who's the new sideline reporter on television for the Blazers as well. So we're excited to have her. She was part of Blazers coverage for Comcast Sports Northwest anyway, so it's a kind of a natural transition for her. So she's part of us as well in terms of this Rip City Relay, so people can meet her today as well. She's certainly the attractive one in our bunch. But it's great. It's great to have some people that I think are excited to be part of this Blazers broadcast team. And as I said earlier, the fact that it's going to be a positive season, we believe, will make it easy for all of us.
Definitely. Looking forward to a great season. I know people are really, really excited. They've already been in here going, I need my Blazer schedule. Where's my Blazer schedule? So I know that people are ready and excited. And if you are excited, make sure that you are down by the courthouse. We're going to be there. No excuses, because we're there even after 5 o'clock. We're going to be there from 4 to 6 this afternoon. So come on downtown. 2nd and Laurel, of course, right in front of the courthouse. It's all blocked off. We're all ready, just like Farmers Market Day. So right where the Farmers Market usually is, that's where we are today. All right. So, and of course, there is lots of construction activity happening downtown. Slow down, take caution, be alert, and try to be patient. Senior meals, 11:30 a.m. today at St. Mary's by the Sea in Rockaway Beach. It's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, senior meals noon every weekday at the Kiowanda Community Center in Pacific City. Cost is $3 for seniors, $6.75 for everyone else. And like I said, this afternoon, Rip City Fair, 4 to 6 in front of the courthouse. We will be there, so you better show up. Saturday is the Trash and Show and the upcycle party really is what it is, beginning at 7 at the North County Rec District. We've had a lot of fun today talking with Brian Wheeler, Kevin Calabro, and Lamar Hurd. Of course, you know Brian Wheeler, the radio voice of the Trailblazers, and Kevin and Lamar are the new TV commentator announcers for the Trailblazers. So looking forward to see them in their first game. First Blazer game is coming up here in 2 weeks. So anything else, guys?
Well, I was just saying that I was excited. We were hoping to have a great turnout this afternoon, but we didn't realize that you were also going to be making a public appearance, Maria. So this, I think, guarantees that we were going to have a turnaway crowd.
People get sick of seeing me.
No, I doubt that.
That's very
This
kind.
ensures that we're going to be seeing a lot of folks this afternoon, and we do certainly hope that a lot of people take the time to come out. And we also kind of end the day with opportunity for a Q&A session with the three of us, and Brooke kind of goes through the crowd. Anybody who wants to ask a question, and if they ask a really good question, they can actually win tickets to one of our first Trailblazer preseason games at Moda Center. So, so it's a great opportunity to kind of maybe learn something about the team, or ask a question about the NBA. We've got a lot of questions from folks that want to know about who we think the Blazers' best competition will be this year, or who their chief rival is going to be, how Kevin Durant's going to fit in with Golden State. So a lot of people have had great questions the last couple of days, and I'm sure we'll get some more great ones later on today. So again, a chance to to win Blazer tickets. That's probably the best enticement that we can provide.
Absolutely. Is there any Blazer swag to be had?
Oh, plenty.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Spin the wheel. You spin the wheel, you have the chance to win T-shirts,
Sweaters.
Yeah, water bottles.
Blazer warm-up
everything.
coats, too. Very nice.
Well, see, you got to make sure that you show up there. I have a whole closet full of Blazer swag.
We can get you some updated stuff. This is new stuff. Fresh off the rack.
And we can be bribed with smoked salmon.
Oh.
At least like that.
Well, my husband's a fisherman, so we can probably make that happen. All right. Well, it's been really good having you guys today, and I'm excited for this afternoon. I will see you guys all there, and I am very excited for the upcoming Blazer season.
Thanks, Maria.
All right,
Thank you.
before we get out of here, I want to wish a happy birthday to Bart Mizet, Mark Telso, and Bob Swetlin. All right, tomorrow, Director of Emergency Management Gordon McCraw will be the guest, and you will be back to your regular host. I don't know, Lisa or Stacy or one of them will be back tomorrow. Thanks for being with us.